Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Whose affair baby is it? I don't know. DNA test, let us know. Oh, guess you're baby trapped. Now you know.
Fatality.
Warning. The following story will be upsetting to cheaters.
I, 28 female, was with my ex-husband for about 6 years. During this time, we were trying for a baby, but had no success. About 4 years into our marriage had a rough patch. My ex had stress at work and slept with his co-worker to relieve it. He confessed to me rather quick, and a week later, they sat me down and told me they were expecting a child. I was a fool back then, and so I felt like I should forgive him because I truly believed he loved me, and I thought I had no one else. It wasn't. My ex's family treated me like their own, but my ex's supposed daughter was the apple of their eye. As a result of that, my ex's co-worker was a frequent presence in our lives. They felt like they had to include the mother of their grandchild for everything too, and she made her way in every family picture and memory. It didn't help that I suspected that the co-worker had feelings for my ex, and flirted with him whenever she could. People thought that she was my ex's wife constantly, and I finally had enough and reached my boiling point when the following happened. During the baby girl's first birthday party, I was told to take a picture of my ex, his mistress, his daughter, and his parents, and it didn't include me. It hit me that I was now treated as the other woman, and I realized that I deserved more than this bullshit. I filed for divorce a few months later and left. It was the hardest time of my life, but I ended up getting a promotion at work and met this sweet, wonderful guy. Fast forward to now, me and my boyfriend are madly in love, and I gave birth to an adorable baby girl that I considered a miracle baby. I got pregnant with my boyfriend within 3 months of dating him, and I thought that it was strange that this could happen. Since my previous failed attempts with my ex-husband, and had thought that I was the infertile one, it crossed my mind then that maybe he was the infertile one, and he only believed his mistress was pregnant with his child because they were having an affair. I didn't say anything though, because it was not my place anymore. However, my boyfriend was so happy about my daughter's birth and posted it on the Book of Faces and tagged me in the post. I was still friends with my ex-sister-in-law on there, and she saw the post. She called me up and said that she was hurt that I didn't let her know that I could actually get pregnant, and that the lack of a child during my first marriage with her brother could be because of him being infertile. So, skipping to the aftermath, he took a paternity test, and the results came back to me too. The poor baby girl was never my ex-husband's. The co-worker apparently was dating this terrible guy during the time she slept with my ex, and therefore didn't know who the child's biological father was. So easy peasy, she does what every skank does. She simply chose who she wanted to be the father. So she just strung my ex along because she had feelings for him and thought he'd be the best father for her child. But here's the even bigger kicker. Now my cheating ex-husband blames me for not telling him that I was pregnant way before, resulting in him having to legally being the father and support this girl. He's doing pretty bad now, devastated, and I know many wouldn't care for him, but him cheating and betraying me doesn't make me wish this on him. It's too brutal to be real. So I'm here, because I can't help but feel somewhat guilty, like I should have told him. The following part I've added to the post later. I'm upset to read that others have experienced similar situations to mine. I've also never posted on Reddit before. I had a previous account for browsing, not posting. I don't think I have to prove my story, and I honestly posted this not to seek validation that my ex supposedly is the worst ever, but to gain perspective. Since my ex and his family were once my family and close confidants for a large period of my life. We were pretty close, and I had promised to keep in touch after the divorce, which they were super upset about. But honestly, I really couldn't after everything that happened between us. They're now super pissed at me for the divorce and for being complicit in my ex taking on the expenses of his not real daughter. They say I'm also responsible for letting him form a paternal connection with this illegitimate daughter for longer than he should have. So here's what's been happening right now. I haven't spoken to them after this and have been avoiding my ex's calls. He texted me, saying that he is sorry and overreacted and felt guilty about prioritizing people who were never really family over me. I only replied with asking how his daughter is, because even though she isn't biologically his, she's still his girl. She seems like an adorable kiddo and adores her dad. Well, legal dad. It seems that my ex's mistress is able to support the girl financially, so my ex won't need to contribute to that. But he says that he's still going to see her every month because he feels morally obligated to. I feel so bad for this little girl because she seems to have lost her family unit, dad, grandparents, and even cousins.
You're not the jerk, OP. First of all, what the F? Your husband cheats on you and blames you for him taking on fatherhood for a child that is not his? What a huge... Oh, I am not going to say it, because this comment will be removed. Or better, my account will be deleted. No rough patch justifies cheating. He should have taken up counseling. He jumped her. He cheated. He should have considered the possibility that she is jumping other guys too. The only one he can blame is the woman who forced that affair child onto him and himself. Don't feel bad. You don't need to be mad at your ex, but you sure as hell need to grow up and be mad at the audacity that he is trying to make you the bad one here. It's great you still get along with your ex's family, but my guy, he made his bed. Cheating with his coworker, who was already in bed with another man. Now he can lie in it and take care of alimony suits or whatever his plan is. I hope he can figure out something because that child considers him her dad already. Wow, karma hits hard here. That woman stole years from him. Consider he also lost you, OP. A loyal wife of 6 years. To a cheap skank for some fun. I love this. I love his family is also paying in shame because I can't believe they accepted this cheater into your lives. You were, or still are, weak in this matter. Zero tolerance is key here. You admitted being the fool for giving him a chance, but even then, there should be at least one family member on his side speaking some truth in this madness. Oh, also, thanks, kind stranger, for the gold. I am a sporadic user on Reddit, so I haven't quite figured out the awards yet. I did not expect this to go through the roof like it did. I try to comment like I would comment on a friend's problem. They confide in me.
It's absolutely appalling how your ex-husband justified cheating as a way to relieve stress. Marriage vows should mean more than that, and blaming you for his legal and emotional mess with a child that isn't even his is beyond audacious. He made his bed, now he can lie in it. You showed strength by leaving when you realized your worth. Wow, he should have sought therapy, not an affair. Why do so many people in these stories treat infertility as the woman's fault without proof? Also, if he hadn't cheated, would this truth about his infertility have ever come to light? We'll never know, though.
Forgiving your ex after such a betrayal speaks volumes about your capacity for empathy, even though he didn't deserve it. It's shocking how the affair baby turned out not to be his, revealing layers of karma justice. Despite all this, your heartbreak made you better in the long term, and you building a happy family is inspirational.
As someone who has made mistakes, I can see why he's devastated. Let's be real, OP, you played the victim card a little too hard here. Did you ever consider how your coldness after the divorce pushed him further into his new family? First, you give the green light after they confessed, then you even stayed after his coworker gave birth, so you've clearly showed that you're all good with the situation. Then you wait, like you mentioned, for at least 1 whole year, 12 months, and then one clear moment made you realize that you didn't want this? You've had your chance, but nobody calls you out on it. Yep, here I am, truth knocking at your door. You chose to push him into the situation because you didn't have the guts to end it at the beginning. This Reddit crowd loves to pile on, but they don't know the full story, or choose to ignore it for cheesy entertainment. This makes their opinion biased and worthless. Maybe if you'd communicated better, things wouldn't have ended like this. This man's life is over. You're no saint, and the audience here is just feeding your ego. Not me. I choose the truth. I think the family is justified in blaming you because, like I've said, you shouldn't have been going with it for, again, over 1 year and some months before calling it quits.
Oh, hey, keyboard warrior. You sound like a motivational speaker for cheaters, justifying terrible decisions. First, share your cheating story so we can adjust the quality of your opinion based on your mistakes. I can clearly see you're a manipulative cheater too, because when you do it, it's a mistake. But when the betrayed party, like OP, does something you don't agree with, then it's a full-blown analysis on why they are at fault. It's laughable, really. Also hilarious that you deliberately chose to call the skanky affair partner another name. Co-worker? Yeah, you chose to use that word to manipulate everyone here by diminishing what your kind really are within your core. I won't type it here, but it rhymes with core. You can fill the rest surely. Newsflash. Cheating isn't a mistake, it's a choice. OP didn't push him into anything. He jumped headfirst into his mess. Blaming her for his actions is like blaming gravity for your fall when you trip over your own shoelaces. Take your fakey, toxic wisdom elsewhere. OP deserves better than your manipulative nonsense. OP, you did good. Your life is better now. Don't listen to these kind of people. I'm sure many would stand by my words.
Royal A.I.
I got messages asking me to update, and I'm now frequently on Reddit, so I thought, why not? First things first, I'm getting married. My boyfriend proposed a few weeks ago, and we'll be tying the knot once this whole mess of a year is over. I know a lot of people here said that my ex's family is toxic, and I shouldn't keep in touch with them. Thanks for the advice. I did use it and didn't engage as I did before. Nonetheless, I do have a secret to share regarding contact with them. So I did contact them to tell them about my engagement. Eek! It went kind of well. My ex-mother-in-law cried and told me she was happy for me and apologized repeatedly for everything. She felt bad about what happened and promises to keep in touch with me. My ex-sister-in-law, the same that called me and didn't believe I kept my fertility from her, also talked to me. She apologized for blowing up at me, saying she was just very overwhelmed by everything going on in her family's life. I can sympathize and told her that all is forgiven. This family is still super important to me, but this felt more like closure, and I'm at peace with my feelings now. It's a chapter in my life that was bittersweet with a lot of great memories, but is now closed. I'll always look back fondly, but now it's time for me to move on. Remember my ex planning to be involved in his legal daughter's life? Well, the last I've heard, it didn't go as planned for him. I'll try to explain this clearly. The kiddo is living with his mistress, the mother together with her biological father. Seems that this so-called terrible guy is now more involved in their lives. and my ex and him are tugging over territory. I've heard my ex eventually stopped visiting altogether, and doesn't seem to be in great shape, though I can't confirm with certainty, as I haven't inquired because I don't want to. And I feel like it's not my place to do so. I wish him well, and hopefully he's able to move on from this. For those who messaged me saying that this is fake, believe what you want to believe. I don't really care anymore. I just hope that those who are reading this know that even though you are struggling, are in tough times, or are just depressed with your life, know that it will get better. It happened to me, and it happened to a lot of people. You too are special, and you too will achieve happiness. Don't give up on yourself. Do what is right. If you think this is fake, believe it. So as long as you get this message loud and clear. Much love to those who supported me. Love yous.
I think you were far more gracious and generous towards that family than they deserved after the way they treated you, but I'm glad you found closure. I hope things go well for you, your fiancé and baby.
I wonder if he regrets blowing up his beautiful marriage for an affair. An affair this cheap. It's like he gave up his most precious thing in life. Your marriage. For a cheap affair with a dirty woman. Resulting in losing everything. Shaming his family. And then being punished by karma in the most cruel way possible. Now he just sits there in his own stink, knowing he lost his position of being a daddy for a girl. That isn't his. To some guy that took his position with a joker card saying, "I'm the biological dad and it's my DNA." You can't make this up. I'm sorry you had so much pain, but honestly, the trash took itself out and you now have a beautiful family. Best thing, it's all yours.
I'm very happy for you. For what it's worth, I've also kept in touch with the family of my cheating ex. When I was going to be in the area for work, I contacted them and wanted to treat them to a nice dinner. But my ex's mom insisted I stay with them for the weekend and let her cook for me. She is a fantastic cook. It was sweet, because I had really missed them and wasn't sure how they felt since I had ended things with their daughter. There's nothing wrong with staying in contact with people who have become important to you. But remember, mine didn't betray me like yours did betray you. So, be wary of that.
This happened exactly to my neighbor, but in a whole different culture. She and her husband were married for about 6 years, childless. Everyone thought she's unable to get pregnant. Oh yeah, her husband left her for another woman, who claimed she fathered his child. Even worse, the mistress started mocking her every day because she's so fertile. Then the mistress claimed she miscarried and accused that the wife had used witchcraft for her to lose the baby due to jealousy. The ex-husband became very mean to her, believing the mistress' story. They even had a very public fight in front of their house. Fast forward 3 years later, she met another man and she got pregnant immediately. Karma showed up. Her husband was the one who can't have children. Even tested, got proof that he is indeed infertile. To this day, her ex-husband and the mistress are together. Still to this day, they have no children.
Little sidestep from my previous questions, but it might lighten up the mood for some of yous. My next question, would I be the jerk for preventing my friend from seeing his newborn baby? This literally just happened, so I'm still a bit emotional and waiting on my friend, Stacy. My friend Stacy just gave birth to a baby boy. The baby's father, Justin, is currently using narcotics and dealing with getting off them. When he and Stacy started dating, he was 4 months sober, but about a year ago, 2 years into their relationship, he relapsed. He's been promising Stacy that he won't use and he'll go to rehab. She left him, and since, he's promised to stay clean. When my fiancé confronted him, today, he was still using, and Stacy decided that she can't rely on him. Though he has this problem, Justin really is a sweet, caring guy. He's helped me and my fiancé countless times and is generally a fun, down-to-earth guy. If he didn't have this problem, he'd be a great father. He's good towards my little one. Stacey does not want him to be there right now because she thinks he's unstable. She's worried for the baby's safety and I share her concern. We've both never dealt with people with this problem before prior to this. Stacey asked me and my fiancé to also tell Justin to leave if he showed up. Well, he did come and my fiancé and I did what Stacey asked. He did not take it well and caused a scene. Security escorted him out immediately. To our defense, he looked like he was under the influence of something. Justin's really upset right now and sent me a text about how we betrayed him when he's only been good to us. He says he just wants to see his child. I really feel for him and tried asking Stacey if she's sure, but she says she is and I don't want to overstep since this is her and her child's safety. Am I in the wrong here?
No, you're not the jerk. Tell him to get clean and stay clean if he wants to be a father to his child. Help him go to rehab or find other needed support if you want to help. Be more alert with situations like this. It's not your family nor your problem. It sounds harsh, but think of your safety too. Don't get over-involved in this.
I've got a few Justins in my family. It's a hard battle. They've stolen from everyone just to get a fix. There are times when they are sober and wonderful people, but there will always be times when they return. You're not the jerk, for quite a few reasons. You knew your friend was under the influence and didn't let him in. You honored Stacey's wishes, and that's a huge thing with new moms. You are not betraying your friend by protecting his child. Even when you saw how upset he was, you continued to stand your ground. Knowing your previous posts surrounding your cheating husband, it shows you've improved as a person. Good on you. You did what was right and you shouldn't feel bad for it at all. Hopefully this leads Justin to get back on the right path.
That brings us to the end. So far. What would you advise, OP? Let us know in the comments. You like the way these stories are brought to you? If so, I got you covered. More like this on my channel. Thank you for staying till the end. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. See you in the next one.